and more, starting with a quick word from FanDuel. Guys, the NFL season is here. FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer right now. New customers can bet just $5, and if that bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So if you're ready to play, download the Fantasy app right now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet. And shout out to Daniel Caruso for sending us in a winning bet yesterday. Daniel turned $10 into just under $400.
That's 2 days in a row for Daniel.
Winning ticket from Daniel. He's on a heater right now, so shout out to Daniel Caruso. If you guys have winning FanDuel tickets, make sure you send it in here. But Daniel won $396.38 off a $10 bet on a multi-part same-game
What did he
parlay.
win yesterday, Mike?
I don't remember which one was Daniel specifically.
It was him. I'm never going to forget his.
He was definitely in.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure which one of the tickets was his.
I got you.
So he won.
Because it sounds exactly like Daniel LaRusso from Karate Kid. The name's just sticking in my head.
So if you have winning tickets, send them in our way.
Yeah.
Bull.
Yeah.
We got a Game 3 today. Winner-take-all Game 3. We're going to preview the game in a little bit, but we got to talk about the 8th inning heroics from the Guardians yesterday. It started with the Brayan Rocchio home run on an 0-2 pitch, 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Yeah. Then the back-to-back doubles. Then the Bo Naylor 3-run homer. Then we had the whole incident in the 9th inning with Smith. So
we'll get into all of it. I will say, just for those who may not know, today's game is at 3:08 and not 1:08. I know a lot of our fans are disappointed because, unlike us, they work like normal 9-to-5 jobs, and it stinks when if you can't watch the game or you're at work. But at least it's a little later today at 3:08 instead of 1:08. All right. That being said, very exciting game yesterday.
Yeah.
As you know, I was very excited about yesterday's lineup.
Paid dividends.
It did in that 8 and. Valera hits the home run in the first inning. By the way, I didn't see it till later because I didn't get, we left here at like 1:08 and the game started at 1:08. So the first inning, I'm listening on the radio. I'm not able to watch it, and I went back in later and watched it. Manzardo's ball in the first inning, if you were watching it or if you were at the game, that was going to, on most days, that would have been an easy home run.
It went to the bat.
He crushed that, but the wind was howling in from right field. I don't know how Valera hit it. They had 3 home runs on a day where the wind calmed down a little later in the game.
You could see the back of the pitcher's jersey flapping.
It was crazy.
I thought Manzardo's was gone because whoever their center fielder was took off.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's gone, and then it fell short.
It just died in the wind. The wind. I mean, that must have been 50-mile-an-hour gusts or something coming in from right. But anyway, after that home run by Valera, the offense disappeared until the 8th inning, and in that 8th inning, that was everything you imagined. We just said the other day, I need other guys to hit home runs. We need some power. Yep. What'd you have in that inning? Homer, double, homer. I had 4 extra base hits. None, not by Ramirez, not by Manzardo. Even Quan was one of the 4 he had a double, but he's not a power hitter.
Right.
And it was like Schneemann a double and Rocchio the homer and Naylor the homer. That they can put together some more innings like that, they can play with anybody.
Yeah. That was it, Tyvis, because we talked about timely hitting. I said, they need some – because I was watching the bullpen, and he was like, we was just talking about it today on UCSS. They need some timely hitting, but not just regular. We need timely power.
Yep.
And they get it from Rocchio. Like, to think about it, like, he's hit 5 home runs this year, right?
Yeah.
He's hit a couple, right, in the last few days. So when you talk about playoff Rocchio, I don't know what's wrong with this man. They bring him back in. They bring him for the minors. They bring him back up. They move him to second base.
Yeah.
He actually transitioned that pretty well.
Yeah.
So you get the home run from him. You get Bo Naylor, who comes up and hits the ball. And it was crazy because I thought Bo Naylor might have got under it a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't think he hit it.
I didn't think it was a home run off the bat.
I said, nah, this is warning track power. And that thing just kept carrying. And when you get – that's the thing. When you have guys at the bottom of your order that can have some sneaky power to give you something – that just makes everything better because remember before in certain lineups we put out, after you get to the 4th, 5th batter in the lineup, you ain't got nothing. Them is complete outs.
Yeah.
But Ty, before you go, well, I'm just curious because, Steve, take this graphic here full. Rocchio is now 12 games into the playoffs for his career.
Playoff Rocchio.
This is his playoff stats. An OPS just shy of 900, which is almost 250 points higher than his career regular season OPS.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. I'm just curious. It's a small sample size.
Yeah.
12 games is not a huge playoff experience. But, I mean, some guys just kind of lock in later.
Yeah, I mean,
is there any explanation you think to why Rocchio has been so much more effective at the plate in these playoff high leverage situations?
I don't have a great answer or an obvious answer. I will say that I think Rocchio is a guy that other teams look at, and like a pitcher, you're not afraid of Brayan Rocchio. Like you in your mind, he's a bottom of the lineup hitter. He doesn't really have much power. I think sometimes you're so locked in the playoffs. You see these games. This is what's great about baseball. Criticize baseball all you want. I know not everybody's a diehard baseball fan, but there is nothing like playoff baseball.
Oh, we are in the playoffs.
Because every moment is intense. Right,
yeah,
like the
true.
first half of an NBA playoff game, like who cares? Like every minute of a baseball game in the playoffs could change that game, could make a difference, could be the reason you win or lose.
That's true.
And it is so much tension in these games. And if you're a pitcher and you're like focused on the team's better hitters, and then you get to the 8th guy in the lineup, maybe you lose your focus a little bit. Could be something that like Jose Ramirez. You look at his career numbers in the playoffs; they're not good. Early in his career, he had a little more success. Even last year, he in one of the series, he I think was it the Tiger series? The Yankee series. He played well in the Yankee series, but overall in recent years, he hasn't been good in the playoffs. Now he's got to be better. There's no excuse. But if you're in the they already are careful with Jose Ramirez in the regular season.
Oh yeah.
But in the playoffs, every team's like, we cannot let Jose Ramirez beat us. He's their best hitter, so he doesn't get a lot of good pitches to hit. And sometimes in the playoffs, maybe you get a little aggressive because I'm important to this team. If anybody says Jose gets tight in the playoffs, I don't believe that for a second. That guy is never tight. He is always loose. He's always ready to go. He hasn't played well enough, but it's not because he gets tight in the playoffs. I don't believe that for a minute. I just think he has had some bad luck. And pitchers are so focused on not letting him beat them. That's a big thing. But, Rocchio's been amazing in 2 years in the playoffs.
No, the playoff Rocchio thing is alive and well. What I like about yesterday is when you look at this Guardians team, it's really a bunch of guys who we've heard a lot about.
Yeah.
But like me and G. Bush would be like, you telling us about Valeria,
Yeah.
you telling us about Rocchio, we telling us about Chase Dillard. It's nice to see those guys actually come in and show like, okay, this is why they kept talking about it. Like you and Jason and Jay,
right.
Y'all always be talking about these guys, and me and G be sitting there like, we ain't never gonna see them. So it's nice to see these guys come up here and have that impact. Like, Chase Dillard, like forget what he did at the plate. I mean, obviously he was down 0-2 and then he walked, which was great by him.
Yeah.
But the play of the day was the throwing the guy out at third.
Yes.
That changed everything because that's a 2-1 game. And as you just said, we take this thing by pitch.
Yep.
So if they go up 2-1, honestly, I'm watching it. I'm like, that's game.
That's game.
Dude, I got to tell you,
that was crazy.
I'm glad you brought that up because to me, I will never know, thankfully. I think they lose that game if he doesn't make that play. There's a decent chance they lose that game because
they had a lot of momentum after that.
Well, first of all, not only would it have been 2-1, but they'd still have run. They're one hit away from getting 4-1.
And then you might as well turn the lights out.
Yeah.
And watching the game, as I'm sure you guys all were, I didn't think they were going to overturn the call.
I didn't either.
I
thought it was close.
I thought he was out, but none of the replays they showed, you could tell for sure that he was out.
He went
none of them.
It's because he didn't tag with the right hand; he did it with the left.
Yeah.
And that
I'm just shocked it was overturned.
Whatever
the call on the field was, I would have bet my life.
Right, that it would have stayed.
Yeah.
You know how they occasionally during that time they were showing like the headquarters in, I think it's in New Jersey, with all those video monitors. They must have some angles that we don't.
It's always Secaucus. It don't matter. If it's MLB basketball,
the NBA's in Secaucus.
No,
Secaucus.
No. Everything's Secaucus.
Yeah, it's all Secaucus.
It's all Secaucus. They got
a fun name to say.
It's down the hall.
Secaucus.
Major League Baseball is in Wing 2. Suite 3 is basketball.
I worked briefly in Secaucus too, so there you go.
It's in Secaucus. You're right, G.
But when they overturned that, as soon as they overturned that, I said, holy cow, the run's not going to count. Because I was pretty sure Dingler had not hit the plate before that, and that was the case. So you go for a moment, you're down 2.
Nope, we're wrong.
What?
MLB content is in Secaucus. The replay center's in New York City.
Man, Mikey got his fine tooth comb out and scraped over that kind. Hell
is
no,
it at the South Street Seaport? Does it say?
It just says in New York City. I'll find the exact.
I've worked there too. I've worked at the MLB offices at South Street.
Hey, you know what this is?
In Elmwood Park.
That's in Queens.
This is the sound of Mikey McNuggets stripping my medals. There you go.
I do like Mikey McNubbles, though.
Yeah, McNubbles?
That might be a good.
That's his cousin.
I don't know what a nubble is, and I don't know how to put that on a graphic. So we're sticking with the nugget.
Hey, what's up, McNubbles?
That instead of 2-1, it would have been 2-1. It would have been second, third, one out. Plus, Bieber maybe comes out. Not Bieber. Bybee maybe comes out of that. Out of the game there.
I like
one more hit, it could be a 4-1 game.
I like the way he pitched yesterday.
He did, and he got out of trouble. And that was the theme of the game.
He got out of trouble.
That was the theme of this game, is that the Tigers had base runners, it seemed like every inning, and every time, except for the one run they scored, the Guardians got out of it.
It was solid.
He wasn't at his best, but he was solid. I thought they pulled Mize too early.
I wonder why they did
what
that.
were they doing?
Yeah,
he was cooking.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something else.
He had, 3 hits?
The Tigers did in my opinion, one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life when they pinch hit for Riley Green in what was it, the 6th inning or the 7th?
It was the 7th. I could not believe.
They said he was
could
upset.
not believe
Riley
they took
Green
him out.
Dude,
sick.
The guy's your best hitter.
That's crazy.
I know he's not as good against lefties. I understand Jahmai Jones has had some success against lefties. Jahmai Jones is a journeyman. Riley Green is a young superstar. You can't. He wasn't facing Skubal. You can't pitch it. And then that spot came up again in the 9th.
It was Tim Herron.
Right. That was insane. I was like, oh my God, they just did the Guardians a huge favor.
Listen, he was up there delivering. I mean, he was like, when did everybody start throwing 101? When did I wake up and even your third or fourth starters are just? I mean, that's why when
guys throw harder in the playoffs because they know it's at the end of the season.
I'm like, why are they taking him out? We can't sniff him right now. This is a 1-1 game going into
Mize was
8.
pitching great. He got in trouble. He obviously gave up the home run, almost gave up another in the first inning. But then he was cruising after that.
Man, they're
so anxious to get these guys get to the bullpen that they overdo it. Now that's a big story heading into Game 3 for the Guardians.
There you go, break that down.
Cade Smith situation.
Woo, because he is not playing. I don't think he's playing.
So Cade Smith had thrown 21 or 23 pitches on Tuesday. Last night, unfortunately, it was what are you going to do? I don't blame him. In the 8th inning with 2 outs. Junis pitching, they bring in Cade Smith in the 8th inning to get the final out. Now the Guardians obviously score the 5 runs in the top of the 9th, or in the bottom of the 8th. If they had not brought in Cade Smith in the 8th, then you wouldn't have started him in the 9th.
Right.
You would have started Festa or Allard, whatever, and then if you got in trouble, you would have gone into Cade Smith. But maybe you could have gotten away without using him. Once you've put him in, now it's 6-1. The manager's in a tough spot because you're like, okay. He threw 20 pitches yesterday. He's thrown I don't think he threw much in the 8th. It was like 4 or 5 pitches. He's like, it'd be great to get him out of here. Then he's pretty fresh for tomorrow. But they didn't have any good relievers left. Like Festa and Allard are guys you really don't want to use in the playoffs unless you have to. Now, Steve Becker was losing his mind on text saying, you got to take him out. You got to take him out. You got to get fired. It's easy to say that when you're not the manager. I'm telling you, I said this on text. Steve disagreed with me. He's wrong. Okay? No manager in baseball would have taken Cade Smith out in that game. You can't worry about tomorrow when the season could end today.
It's an elimination game.
That's just it.
And then think about what people would have said.
Fair.
Think about what people would have said if they bring these two down the liners in, and it's like,
and they took him over the
and
fence.
now that's a drive to deep right field, and this is a brand new ball game, folks.
Oh yeah,
people would have been out with pitchforks.
They would have lost their mind. If the Guardians would have lost that game because he pulled Cade Smith, you would have lost your mind. Now he's thrown 50 pitches the last 2 days. That's a lot. I was saying on my post game yesterday, I don't think he's going to pitch today. I had Zach Meisel and I did a Guardian show at 7:30 last night. He said that Vogt said that he is available today. Now, even if he's not available, Vogt's not going to admit that. Why would you? Right. You don't want to let the other team know
He's ready to go.
But the thing is, even if he does pitch today, I don't know how effective he can be. He wasn't at his best yesterday. And he's thrown 50 pitches in 2 days. That's a lot.
Did you think he was at his best in game one either? Because I thought he was a little wild.
No,
in
I thought he
game
was
one,
okay
too.
in game one. I thought he was serviceable in game two. He didn't have the big velocity drop that we saw last year, but I think we might see that if it happens today. So hopefully they don't need him. You need a nice blowout today, which the Guardians don't do very often.
So it's kind of wild to think about it.
Yeah.
What if they still had Class A? They could have. We could have been. We would have played bullpen games with them.
They extended his time.
They're still suspended indefinitely, both those guys.
Okay, they extended it to win.
Yeah, indefinitely.
So it's no timeline
until it gets settled.
Hey, what if is it a possibility if they come back and be like, you know what, we didn't find anything, you're able to play? Would the Guardians play him?
They ain't pitched.
They haven't pitched in a while. I don't think they could. I mean, in theory, if it happened today, maybe you could get. If you're suspended, I don't think you can pitch in the playoffs, but I think that's only if you're suspended for PEDs. So I think he could, in theory, if they said we made a mistake, you're, exonerated.
If they didn't
in theory, he could pitch. Yes.
Now, if they've been keeping they've told him, hey, listen, guys, stay ready. This new Guardians, and I'm getting somewhere. Don't worry. This new Guardian, I just had this thing in my mind where Dolan is sitting at this big boardroom and saying, hey, you know what? I've seen the errors of my ways.
Yeah.
We now have to go all in on these young guys. We got to pull all the triggers. Maybe he's sitting there saying, I'm not going to be the owner for very long. It's in the works. But while I'm here, because it does not make any sense, Bull. There is no way, if you would have told anybody that this lineup looks the way that it looks, that you now have.
Now, a lot of it's potential and not proven, but it's exciting.
But we were talking about them pulling teeth to bring one of them up.
Yeah.
So you got Valera, you got Kafis, you've already, all of these dudes is up here.
Yeah.
For what? It don't make no
sense.
And
now DeLauder did make an error in the first inning, but it didn't hurt him, and they obviously made up for it with a great play later.
We cool with it.
By the way, they were showing his dad in the crowd, and I know his dad had glasses on, sunglasses, so it was a little hard to tell. But his dad looked like he was 25 in the stands. He obviously is not because he's his dad, but he looked very young to me. But anyway, Kafis actually made a nice play on that line drive to end the game at first base. And he's a natural first baseman, unlike John Kenzie. But he's been solid since he's come up, and I love it, man. They got some ball players. I mean, you look at Chase DeLauder; he looks like a ball player. The Guardians have had so many mini mites in the field, and now Kafis, solid looking dude. Manzardo, big dude. Valera's a big dude, and DeLauder's he's.
Do you think they'll continue? Do you think they'll continue if they are able to pull this out? Do you think that this lineup will continue to be in there?
It better. I think they should have the exact same. Has the lineup come out yet, Mike?
Not yet, and it probably won't come out as early as it did the last 2 days because it's a
3, not
game.
at 1.
Yeah.
I would have the exact same lineup today. There's no reason
it's
to change.
Flaherty pitching for Detroit, correct?
Yeah.
What's that?
Flaherty's pitching for Detroit.
And the good news is, if you win, you play Seattle. All of Seattle's starters are righties. Because the Guardians, and by the way, John Kenzie Noel needs to be off the roster.
Yeah.
And John Kenzie and Jonathan Rodriguez cannot start. I'm starting this lineup.
Sorry, Tyvus.
I'm starting this lineup against lefties and righties, to me, for the rest of the playoffs. Because you know why? You're not facing a better lefty than Skubal. Okay? No, if you, I guess the only lefties you might have to face in the playoffs if they went deep enough in the American League. I can't go to the National League because there's still a lot of teams there. You could face Fried with the Yankees, and the Yankees have another lefty.
Rodon.
Yeah, so it'll be. Hopefully, they don't play the Yankees.
Is Crochet a lefty?
And Crochet's a lefty too. Yeah. But I don't care. I'm using this lineup lefty-righty. I don't care.
So he had one bad game.
He stinks. What one bad game? He's been terrible the whole year. He can't play the field. He can't hit.
Tyvus, your man is up there batting like he's in sandals. Open-toed Swiss sandals. Do you know how it looks like?
He got the thong in the middle of
He don't even got the Nazareth sandals.
I'll never forget, man. This is what it was like. We had... this just reminded me. I don't know. I hadn't thought about this in years. So I worked at a day camp when I was a kid. I went to camp as a kid, like a day camp, and then when I was old enough, I became a counselor at this camp, right? And it was a Jewish camp in Queens. And one year we had this guy who came over from Africa. He was a Jewish guy from Africa. And we would be playing baseball, and he'd be basically wearing sandals.
I told
and
you.
that's John Kenzie Noel.
But, bro,
Yes.
you out there playing in chanclas. You out there in sandals, bro. Like, you ain't got no support. Your ankles is out. Your ankles is twisting over. And that's how he looks when the breaking pitches come, Tyvis.
Yeah.
His ankles turning over. He all on his front foot. He need to, if he gonna play in sandals, he need to at least get the Roman gladiator joints with the support atop the straps.
He come through in big spots, man.
Man,
I want nothing to do with it. But anyway, that was exciting. It was an exciting game. It was a great win. Hopefully, Cade Smith is all right. Hopefully, they can win comfortably today and not have to use him. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. But at least today, unlike yesterday when he kept Cade Smith in and obviously he ends up pitching up. He walked a guy and then he hits Torkelson. Torkelson was pissed. Obviously, wasn't done on purpose.
Back-to-back days, Cade Smith hit him.
Yeah.
Neither was intentional.
Of course
obviously.
not. You're never going to hit him on purpose. And then Rocchio actually made that error that kept the inning a little, going a little longer. So he ends up throwing 30 whatever pitches yesterday. But at least today, whereas yesterday, if you took him out, you were stuck with Festa or Allard. Today, you could set it up if quietly you're not going to use Smith, where you're saving Gaddis for the end of the game, or whatever. Steve on our text chat, I keep throwing EP Steve under the bus. He's like, if Allard and Festa, if you don't trust them, well, then why are they on the roster? Well, you have a 26-man roster. You're not going to trust everybody the same way.
Yeah, you're right.
You're not going to have 8 relief pitchers that you completely trust. This is a big spot. The entire season is on the line. I know it's a 5-run lead. I can't bring in Matt Festa to close out a game with the season on the line, even with a 5-run lead. I get it. For a moment, as they were going to ninth, I'm like, maybe they should bring in Festa, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm like, it's crazy. You got to close. You got to win now. You got to win now. 5-run leads have been blown before. It's not common, but obviously it happens sometimes.
So if Cade doesn't go, who will close?
I would think Gaddis would be saved. Probably. Now, they could save both Gaddis and Heron for somewhat late and then use them. But what I think they're going to do today, well, we'll get to the preview later. Let's save that. We'll get to the preview.
Yeah, we're going to do a whole preview real quick, though.
Yeah.
Just 1 second on the preview.
Yeah.
Sony's on the mound today for the Guardians. We've seen the ups and the downs of Slade throughout the season. He's been really good as of late.
Yeah.
Do you think we see good Slade, great Slade, average Slade, or bad Slade today?
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be average. I think I'll say this.
Fell off like that. Let me see them stats.
I don't expect either starting pitcher to go very deep into this game.
He fell off like
Who do you feel has a better upside? Like who has it if they hot today?
Cicconi's on the upswing and Flaherty's kind of on the downswing. But Flaherty's a veteran, so he's had more experience in these situations. This is Slade Cicconi's first postseason experience.
By the way, if you look at their names right there, it looked like their names should be switched.
100%.
Ciccone looks like a Flaherty, and Flaherty looks like Ciccone. Slade Ciccone.
That's true.
Flaherty looked like his name should be Slade Ciccone. And
he looks more Italian.
And he has a leather jacket and rides a bike.
Right.
That's funny because he do look like he ride a bike.
Ciccone looks more like he just got arrested for meth last year.
Yeah. He got his lab blew up.
Yeah.
He definitely looked like he got a motorcycle for sure.